Welcome back to the 628 Dirt Rooster channel, where hobby beekeeping is a way of life. Guess what we got today? Got a hair in my mouth. We got a hive removal today that's kind of a rush job. House is up for sale. Supposed to close. The sale closes tomorrow. They need the bees out today, so by tomorrow morning they want a letter from me saying the bees are out and the wall's fixed. Rush job. So that's where I'm headed now. And if you want to tag along, I'll be working on it all day. It's only going to be about 15 or 20 minutes to you though, so it's not that painful. Come on, let's go see what they got. You see all that activity over there? Bees zipping around and a bird zipping around getting him a meal too. Man, they're busy. I wonder if they're swarming or mating flight or what's going on. I gotta go look. I'm either getting here in time for a swarm or a mating flight, one or the other. I haven't been inside the house yet, but as you can see, asbestos siding, I can't really do anything with that, so I got to take them from the inside. It's hard to, you can find a match for it, but it's not cheap and it's not easy to find. And man, what is up? Got to be a mating flight. They ain't going nowhere. So anyhow, I can repair that, but rather than chase down materials and try to fool with all that, it's just so much easier to cut a little bit of sheetrock. So I'll be taking these from the inside. Now my bad. It is a swarm. Maybe a second one. I'm fixing to snag these suckers in a nuke box, lock them up in the shade, and watch them for a minute, see where they go. Yeah, these aren't going anywhere. I've been sitting here watching them for about 10 minutes. 5 minutes, maybe. Feels like 10. I gotta cut this little limb off and drop them in a box. They're calming down, going back inside now. I didn't want to interrupt anything, but if I'd been willing to lay down there in the scorching sun and watch real close, I probably could have caught the queen coming back in, because that was definitely, almost definitely a mating flight. There's too many out in the air going back to the hive that are not joining the swarm. So kind of a small swarm, smallish, but guess what? That makes a nuke. I got the perfect bait here, some old comb going in a nuke box. I'm not going to shake these. This is going to be a real gentle capture. They're small enough the whole thing will fit in that box. And so I got some sheet metal shears. I'm going to snip that limb, just ease them down in there and leave them in the shade. Oh. Couldn't find my snips, but I do have my saw with me that sheet metal shears wasn't getting it. They were shaking the limb too bad. Oh, come on. This has happened to me twice ever. They all went in the box, and for whatever reason they either didn't like it or the queen came out and they followed her, or I don't know what, but they're all in the air again. So now I gotta wait on them to settle down somewhere. Looks like they're going back to that same ligustrum, which is good. I'm gonna leave them alone, let them do what they're gonna do. I'm gonna go inside and get started on this, and I'll come back out and check on them in a little bit. Now I'm in a worse position than I was before. Before they were all dangling off that one little bitty limb. I got the bulk of them in the box. These right here, I'm just gonna give them another hour to gather up. I caught a break. One of many today. This is my first time in the house to look around. I was just carrying tools in and pinpointing where the bees are. It's like, nah man, not carpet. Because with them swarming out, probably gonna be a lot of honey in there. I mean, they take a lot with them, but yeah, vinyl tile, they're in the left stud space under that window, which means they can't be any bigger than that, and I don't have to work over carpet. And the blinds have been closed, so I couldn't really get a accurate picture of the layout or how anything was in here. As I'm working in here, it's daylight of course, so when I open this wall, some bees are going to come out and go in the house. And so I'll keep the bedroom door closed because the rest of the living end is, or the rest of the bedroom end is carpeted. But I want them to go to a window. This window here is east facing. It's not the brightest in the room right now because that's south. That's going to be the brightest window. But any bees that come out, I want them to be attracted away from me and not in my face while I'm working. And I just come over here to the window and suck them out. There's my little swarm catch out there. They're settling down on those frames. I leaned up on that tree. The ones that didn't make it in the box. All right, here goes nothing. Dang it. Trying to save this piece of sheetrock so I don't have to go buy a piece. Got one custom fit. Well, I missed the stud, but I didn't miss the hive. There's on the back of the sheetrock, and that's what's in the wall. About 3 combs deep in the wall. I mean, it's a 3.5 inch stud cavity, so they give you an idea how deep it is, how deep the combs are. I gotta start vacuuming. There she is. Old dirty cage. Don't judge me. Just because she's in a dirty cage. She's safe. She don't care what that cage looks like. careful vacuuming because this whole sheet waving back and forth, and I'm not likely to knock it down, but all that swinging around might upset the bees between the combs with all that patting like that. I don't want to set them off while I'm in here working with nothing on them. That's the first half of the first comb cut out. And there's this whole one, and there would probably be one more, a smaller one behind it, maybe in that much space. I won't know until I get it out, but that's typically how they are. They're usually about 3 combs deep in a space like this. I got one queen cell in the box. There's another one right here. I can't tell if it feels like it's still closed. There's some cups. That's open. Got my little queen up here doing good. Got plenty of attendants working her. And that other queen cell's in the box. Getting down to the last of it. I've been vacuuming as little as possible, putting everything I can in the box. I'm putting the framed up combs in. There's another queen cell. 2 more. Looks like one of them might be empty. That's all the honey there was in the hive. This old fella working on his sewer helped me out with some water because there's no water on at this place. So I'm gonna give him some honey. I promised him. Try it. You find your leak? You're gonna have it all over you time you're done. No more outside activity except for on that window right there. That's it. Last piece. One emerged cell and one good queen cell. That queen's not going back in this box. I'm gonna put her somewhere else. I got some other nukes that need queens. There's my swarm. I'm gonna leave them locked up for 48 hours. That box has a screen bottom, so they got ventilation, but I still don't want the sun beating on them. So I got that 3-frame nuke box and the lid sitting on top and to the south side just to shield it from the sun during the day. And I'll probably come put a feeder lid on it tonight. They're not balling her, but they're acting a little funny. I thought this box was queenless, maybe it's not. So I'm not gonna leave her. Let me show y'all a bit of an unconventional way to bank a queen. just got her out in the open in the queen clip. That's that one from that swarm I caught. These are all bees that were part of that swarm. Look, there are beetles on there. There's not even anything for them to eat. Anyway, there's a queen in this clip. Those are all bees from a swarm catch. Shake them off of here in front of the hive. I got my queen. I got some nurses in here. I don't know why the beetles are on this thing. So anyway, I've only ever banked them like that for about 4 days, and I couldn't really tell you how long you could bank a queen like that and have her survive or be viable. This has been 2 days on this one. They were starting to build comb on the cage there. So that was 2 days banked, completely outside of any hive, just in the empty box on top of a swarm box. And I'm about to go introduce her to another colony. I tried to introduce her to this colony 2 nights ago, and she wouldn't go in, and they were acting kind of funny, and I didn't want to leave her and take a chance on them killing her, so I didn't leave her. There she is crawling around on the clip. But tonight, this afternoon, I checked this box and it definitely is queenless, so she's going in regardless. Weather's turning bad and I don't want to leave her out anymore. There you go. She walked right in. Now last night, or night before last, when I tried this, they met her at the entrance and really kind of were rough with checking her out. Tonight she just walked right in, it wasn't no problem.
Get all this dust and clean that up first.
Yeah.
You know, because you can't get that in the pool if you do in your streets.
Yeah, it's too hard to clean up. That's what I was going to shop back.